And let me click it here. It says, got it. And we're good to go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Be Fearless. This is G.S.T's podcast.
Welcome to another episode.
And we are live today for episode 17.
Wow.
And we've got the
That's
amazing
awesome.
Jomer de Leon with us today. Hi, Jomer. How are you?
Hello, my dear friend. Good to chat with you this early this morning, well, afternoon in your area.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here. And I want to also say hello to everyone who's watching. Good morning, good evening, good night,
Yes.
wherever you are in the world. And today we are going to continue to find out some strategies and some ways of becoming that little bit more fearless in your life. So first of all, I want to say that I'm Lisa. I'm a children's book illustrator and a teacher. And I am the host of the Global Speakers Talk podcast, Be Fearless. Now, today we have with us Jomer de Leon, who is a fitness, and he works very closely with G.S.T on some of our teamwork as well. And I know that he's got some things that he's working on behind the scenes. So thank you for all your support for G.S.T, Jomer. And it's great to have you here. And I cannot wait for you to tell us more about how you help people before we dive into some questions.
Yeah. So first and foremost, to G.S.T, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the platform to voice out practically everything. My passion, my life concerns, my struggles, my journey. So thank you to all the members who show up day in, day out. Your videos are encouraging to me. So please continue to show up. As our friend said, I'm Jomer. I'm a life coach and I'm a fitness coach. And three things that I want people to know who I am is: one, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. Second, I love to serve my family. And two, I love to encourage people to use their life to serve others. Those are the three things that I'm very passionate about. Everything I do revolves in those three things. Why am I here? Well, I'm blessed enough to be invited. And I would say that it's been quite a journey this past 2 years, 3 years, really. It definitely helped me grow, face my fears. When the early stage of pandemic, as you know, I'm a fitness trainer. So the club that I was working, which is my bread and butter, closed. And then now it's like, what am I going to do? I still have my financial responsibilities. I mean, I have to pay my bills. I have to meet my responsibilities for my family. So what am I going to do? So what I did was I reached out to my clients and I said, you know what? I have never done online training before in my life. I have no clue how to do it, but would you be interested in trying out with me? I said, if you like it, and then let's try to find a way to do it together. And if you don't, I totally agree. I understand. God's blessing, about 80% of my clients, after the first trial, they decided to stick with me.
Fantastic.
And that's how I started doing online training. I had, going back to what we're talking about, is how do we overcome the fear, especially when we know we need to do something that's important to us and also important to other people as well. I said, I don't know how to do this, but I know I have to do it. What helped me overcome that fear is by not challenging myself. How will it affect me negatively, and also the people I love? And that was my driving force to break that fear of reaching out to my clients and starting a business, online training, which I have no clue how to start.
Yeah, so, it helps when everyone's so supportive, though, doesn't it? You know,
yes,
you had all those people coming forward with support.
Yes. So probably that's one thing that I've learned as far as how do I overcome the fear, especially when I know what I would need to do, which I'm afraid to do, will bring great joy to me and also to the people I love. I focus on what I will gain by breaking the fear. That's one thing that helped me.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, because I think this is it. And even within making that decision and knowing you had to do it, you
Yes.
still felt more fear every time you take a sort of step forward. There's more challenges. Did you ever find that there was a moment where you really thought, oh, I just can't get over this hurdle? How am I going to dig deep and find a way to get over this hurdle? Or do you think that just having that initial feeling of, I have to do this, I'm going to push through, because you had that big why of your family supporting yourself, that
Yes.
needing the money to come in? What do you think about that? Do you think there were times when you really came up against the wall and you were like, oh, should I make a decision? Should I do something else? Were there some fearful moments that you were?
I think my biggest drive was the why.
Mm,
After I was clear on why I have to break this fear, everything just kind of started to unfold.
right. Yeah.
And next thing you know, say, okay, now I'm in it. I made a commitment to my clients. I'm going to train them online, and I don't know how to do it. So what do
Yeah.
I need to do? Now, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn to make sure that I can provide this online service that I just made a
Amazing.
commitment to? And
Well,
so I started.
you had a strong why, and you made a commitment. So those are big things that
Yes,
made
I
a
made a
huge
commitment,
difference.
and then followed by, what do I need to learn?
Mm,
Right after that, okay, I'm going to commit. Now, what do I need to learn so that I can deliver what I just promised to my clients? So I started digging in. I started watching YouTube. I started learning from people who's been doing online for years. And the funny thing is, my first few sessions, I didn't even know how to turn the audio in Zoom. So I was using my phone as my audio, as I'm using the Zoom as my video for about a month. I was like, and then finally oh, that's how you turn the audio in Zoom. So
huge learning curve. Yeah.
huge learning curve. I'm like, oh, so that's how you turn the audio in after a month of training my clients. um, so I would say those three things that really helped me is why. And after understanding my why, okay, I'm going to have to make a commitment, followed by what do I need to learn? What do I need to do? And I think Ping also addressed this in his video, is that who must I become to deliver what I just said to my clients?
The
Right?
transformation. Yeah.
Yes,
Of
who must
you.
I become?
Mm,
What are the limiting beliefs that I have that will not support me in
yeah.
becoming successful in doing online business? I have to address all those things. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough experience. I don't know how to run the technology.
Yeah.
Um, all those things I wrestled with. All those things. I said, okay, well, yeah, I don't know how, but I can learn it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? I don't know how to do X, but I'm sure I can learn it if I want it enough. And so those are the things that help me get to where I am.
Mm. I
And
think
I'm still
learning is
learning.
big, isn't
I'm
it?
still
Yeah,
learning.
because that can really help you to overcome the fear. If you know that anything you don't know is going to be out there, there's so much
Yes.
information now. We're living in an information age
Yeah.
where it's right at our
Yeah.
fingertips. So if you can't do something, you could probably find someone who can and help you. And I think that helps a lot with the fear. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. So I just want to ask you now then, so
Yeah.
do you think that now that you've become more fearless in you had that why, you had that commitment, and you've moved through that now in your successful business, is there anything right now that you have fears about, maybe not in your business but your life, and you're working on taking steps to overcome them?
Yeah, there are quite a few things. One is I recently completed the program that I wanted to put together for the last 2 years. And we have a mutual friend, Josephine, who was a big part of helping me build the foundation of my program. And the name of the program is Pillars for Life Transformations and Health. And the main drive of this pillar is helping individuals who love to serve other people without neglecting their health. That's the main push of this program. And the foundation of the programs are, first and foremost, is helping people understand the importance of taking ownership of your life. Because without taking ownership, change will be impossible. So take ownership. The second part is awareness, is how aware are you with what's going on with your life? As you probably know, you can use the life wheel as your tool guide. How are you doing with your family? What's working, what's not working? How are you doing in your fitness? And on and on and on. And how satisfied are you? How less satisfied are you? So you can go so many different ways using that tool. And then followed by honesty. Okay, now this is what's happening with my life. What do I like? What don't I like about it? Be honest. Which part of my life that I wish it's not part of me, but it is. And I have to deal with it. So honesty is the third component. The fourth one is, okay, now, what do you want to do, Jomer? What action do you want to do? Now that you know exactly what you like, what you don't like, you wish that you don't have this, but it is, what are you going to do? What action are you going to take to make the changes that you see that you need to make the change?
Sure.
Followed by perseverance, or being
Mhm.
consistent in taking the actions that I know I need to take to see the changes that I want to see and for it to be part of me. So that's the life transformation part. And then, of course, as I said, the health and fitness part is helping people understand the importance of movement or fitness training, along with proper basic foundation of nutrition. So
Mm,
those are the 7 things that are in this program that I'm putting together.
mm. Okay. Well, that's really interesting because as I listen to you, it really comes to mind that, and I've seen this before talking to other people, that there's some threads that are always the same. There's a lot of personal development, I think, that goes into overcoming those challenges that you're facing right now.
Yes.
And you're using words which are coming up frequently: commitment, perseverance,
Mhm.
and talking to yourself, really.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, very much in the personal development way, and learning, and being open to all of that, and being
Mhm.
aware of what you need to do, and being aware of your limitations as well. I think this is a
Huge.
huge thing as well. It can really overcome it can help you, I think, from what you're saying, to overcome the fear. The more you understand yourself and the more you understand where you want to go, because everything's clear. You've got that clarity. Clarity is a big word that comes
Huge.
off
Yes,
as
it
well.
is. Yes.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. And
Thank you.
as we all know, we all feel fear. It's quite normal.
Yeah.
So but it's how we deal with it that's
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier as well about the transformation.
Mhm.
You were aware you were going on a journey where you were going to transform and become more fearless, because you had your why, you had your reason, you had to do it. So how can you describe how that transformation is for someone who is still in that place that you were, where they're like, they have to make a change, or maybe even more, that they want to make a change? Because if you have to make a change, sometimes the drive is very, very strong. But
Yes.
if there's just things you want to do, like, say, for example, you've been wanting for a long time to write that book, or you've been wanting for a long time to start that YouTube channel, or
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
the podcast, what would
Yeah.
you say is the transformation? How does it feel to now be able to live more fearlessly and handle those fears you come up with a lot easier?
I think one of the things that helped me, especially in the past few months, is be willing to take imperfect action. Be willing to take imperfect action. Be willing for people's ideas and suggestions be open for those. But I would say I'll go back to what I just said earlier, especially when I started putting this program together and started showing up more in Facebook, and say, you know what, I'm going to show up. I'm not really sure what I'm going to say, but I'm going to go anyway. It is those in willingness to make mistake,
Yes.
right? Willingness to make mistake, knowing that every time you show up, it's a booster of confidence. And anytime you move to the direction that you know it's right for you, it increases your confidence. So you know what? I was able to take that step. I'm sure it's possible again to take another step and another step.
Do you think you've
Uh,
become more fearless about making mistakes? As
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Before I'm so concerned about I have to show up, it's quote unquote perfect,
Yeah.
right? I need
Imperfection is
to,
not real, is
yeah,
it?
no. I said I need to make sure that when I show up, that I don't stutter, or when I communicate my ideas, I want to make sure that I don't stop in the middle of the sentence, thinking, "Oh, he forgot what he's going to say." You know, so I move from I want to be perfect, showing up to I want to connect with people.
Mm.
It's a huge mind shift for me. I show up not to be perfect. I show up to connect with you.
Mm.
So
That's a really good point. Yeah.
if I can do that, I don't care if I stutter. I don't care if I blank out in a sentence. I don't care if I mispronounce the words. The main thing is, did I connect with my audience or to the people I want to connect to?
So your objective is kind of different. That's such a good point. I love that you shared that, because your objective now
Mhm.
is not focused on you anymore. It's focused on them and making sure you've got the job done. That
Yes.
that job, rather than worrying about, oh gosh, is everything going to go wrong, or what have I done
Yeah.
wrong? It's like you
Yeah.
take it away and you just focus
Oh,
on what you're doing. Yeah, I love
it,
that.
it is. It gives me so much freedom to be me.
Yeah.
You
And there's
know?
nothing wrong with being you, is there?
No,
Exactly.
no,
And
no. It's like
everyone makes mistakes.
it does. It does. And I think sometimes, especially in the, of course, you want to, especially in the very beginning, you
Yeah.
want to project as confident. You want to project, you know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. You want to project as you have this knowledge, and of course, that's natural. That's very
Mhm.
natural. Sometimes what I've learned is that when I'm so focused on me, I don't connect well with you
Mm.
because I'm so concerned about how I look, pronouncing my words, the gestures of my hand. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's am I connecting with you? That's what I'm learning. Is that how am I
I love
connecting with
that.
you?
That's like a really powerful message, I think, that you've put across today. I mean, that's definitely one of my big takeaways from our discussion today, because it's so powerful, isn't it? It's about having the right mindset.
Hmm.
It's about going in with the right idea, and also not being frightened of making mistakes, like you
Yes.
said, not having that fear, because mistakes make you look human anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I've heard from, performers and singers who have off days. There are
Yeah.
singers that
Hmm.
think, wow, that wasn't my best. I struggled today with my voice or whatever. And that's just part of being human, isn't it? And
It
we have to
is.
remind ourselves of those things as well, and talk to ourselves. It's a lot of self-talk, isn't it, to remind yourself to be fearless. Because I
Yes.
think we are our own worst enemies in terms of criticism. I think we can
Yes.
tend to always notice what we need to correct. But I
Yes.
think it's so important that what comes through is the most fearless people are focused on reminding themselves of why they're imperfect, if you like, why they
Yes.
should be authentic and natural, and to not even give those things another thought, because people don't want to see a perfected, image of you. They want you.
It is. And as you were speaking, the things came to my mind. As you said, sometimes we critique our own self.
Mm.
And I would like to shift that more in a positive way. Which what I mean by this is that if I see something that I know that I don't like about myself, instead of judging that as I hate that part about me,
Mm.
or I wish that's not part of me, instead of thinking in that framework, it says, what if we change that into, oh, that's a place of improvement in my life.
Yeah.
That's a place where I can grow. Oh yeah, oh, that area that I don't like, that's an opportunity for me to challenge myself to improve in that area.
It's
Instead
like
of,
that.
yeah, instead of I hate that part about me. Oh, I wish that thing's not part of me. It won't help us.
No, it's that subtle difference almost between critique and criticism, isn't it? Criticism can
Yeah,
be very negative, but criticism can also be very positive. And we
yeah,
often use the word critique in a positive way because we learn so much from it. It's the same as mistakes. Mistakes
yes.
can be negative, but
It can be
they can
positive
be
as well.
absolutely incredibly positive as well because of
Yes.
the learning that comes out of them.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That's a very, very good point. And again, that comes down to mindset, doesn't it? And it
It
comes down to
does. It
that
does.
personal development and
Uh,
talking to yourself and, working on all of this because, we're only humans and we're limited by who we are and our brains. So we have to
uh,
work on our brains.
it does, and I think that's so important. As you know, as a teacher, I'm sure you can relate to this. Uh, what we feed our mind, either purposely or very subtle, it will show up in how we live our life.
Yeah.
Right. And there is a biblical quote that I love says, "If what is lovely, what is right, what is pure, what is justice." When you think of all these things, think what's beautiful, think what is lovely, think what is right, what is just, and meditate on these things. And I think the more we saturate ourselves with the thoughts and ideas that will support us, the more we'll be able to function in a way that's more supportive for ourselves and also to other people as well.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I wanted to move to our final question, actually, because
Yes.
I want you to imagine that you have a friend who's in a similar position that you were in, and
Okay.
they have to make this move,
Hmm.
make a change, and they're terrified.
Okay.
What's the best piece of advice that you could give them, a message that you want to give that you think will be paramount in helping them to move forward with being more fearless?
Okay. So here's what I would say to you who was listening and thinking about taking a step towards the goal, or you might even use the phrase better you. I would start with understanding your value. You're creating God's image. Uh, Two, why? Why do you want to make this change? And because it is the bigger your why, the stronger your driving force will be. Third is don't be afraid to take imperfect action. Don't be afraid to take imperfect action. Those would be the three things that I would suggest to you. Know your value, know your why, take imperfect action.
Brilliant.
And know that, yeah, and know that that you have families and friends who will be there to support you. That's a huge thing also when you're taking a big step, places that you want to go you've never been before, or you don't even know how to get there. um, as you said earlier, having a community that supports you, such as G.S.T,
Yeah.
it's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's huge. So yeah, that's what I would say.
It's interesting you talk about community because it's so underestimated. How important it is, because people are the cornerstone, and you're absolutely right. If you're dealing with something that brings you fear or that you are nervous about, then having the right people around you is key, isn't it? and
It-
making
it's
sure you have that support.
it is. And then just to close it up real quick with what you're saying about people, I mean, for me to get to where I am with my program, I hired 2 coaches. I need someone. I hired our friend Josephine, and I hired another friend of mine to help me understand the online business from the personal training side.
Mhm.
And recently, I was part of a trainers who are focused on building their business. So I truly understand the importance of having the right community alongside of you. Yes.
So it's about reaching out when you need help again, isn't it? Amazing. Wow,
Yeah.
Jomer, I have absolutely loved our conversation. I wish it didn't have to end, but we are at the end of time. But thank you for all the
Oh,
wisdom
thank
that you shared today and all of that, because I think those big takeaways that you mentioned on the last question were the threads coming through everything you said. And I think that's going to be useful for a lot of our listeners. It certainly helps me as well. So thank you very
Oh,
much.
thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I wish you well. And again, you are doing an amazing job
Oh, bless
on
you.
these
Thank you
sessions.
so much.
You're,
Thank you.
yes, and it
You're
shows that
very
you love
kind.
it.
Well, we've loved having you here, and we hope that you'll be able to join us again. And we are going to really say goodbye now until next week,
Yes,
because we're going to have another episode on Tuesday with a new guest coming, so who's a mystery at the
nice.
moment. And I'll be letting you know later on in the week who that's going to be. But thank you for tuning in. Please leave your takeaways in the comments. Please put #replay if you didn't watch live, because we love to know that you've
Yes.
come in and interacted and enjoyed and learned from Jomer today. And also, I would love for you to, if you feel that Jomer could be helpful to you, to get in contact with him. We will put his details in the contacts as well. So I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Jomer.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
everybody. Take
Bye,
care.
guys. Bye-bye.